Salutations, boys and girls and kiddos of all ages, and to my subscribers and new viewers, returning viewers and new subscribers. I would like to thank you and welcome you all to Posing Action Figures with Toy the Poser. And yes, I am your host, Toy the Poser. And for all that didn't know or need to know or just need a fresh reminder, this is not your average toy review channel. Just a simple showcasing of all the things I like to show off in the form of action figures and toys. And I'll get behind the camera and go into giant mode to show you exactly what I mean. Whoop! Hey, it's another Marvel Legends series, Marvel's 2-pack featuring Aaron and Triton. Sorry, I meant Trico. Trying to be funny, but yeah. And I know you can read. I know you see the real names or their other names, so I'll explain that later. But for right now, for those who like packages and to see packages, this is what's on this package. There's the top. There's the other side. All right. There's the bottom with all that legal jargon or whatever with a barcode. And of course, there's the back. Feature not two guys. I guess I should show you guys these words at the bottom too if you'd like to see those things, but don't know why, but there you go. And yes, StarFox, the champion of the universe. And let's get out let's get them out of the package. So magical poof. All right. And it's they only came with alternate fists, so their accessories wasn't really nothing. If you want to consider these accessories, so a left and right fist for the big fella. Put that to the side, and a left and right fist for the little fella, and put that to the side. And it's time to pay the rent. I'm going to pay the rent a little early today because these guys, you know what? As I was saying, that they're new. I'm happy I got them. They're new characters that we didn't have already. I love that. But the only thing I hate when, and I don't know if they're, I'm pretty sure they're reused bodies or whatever. And my God, my camera is something else. I'm sorry about this camera situation, guys, or the lighting, but I battle with the lighting effects and the colors all the time. So I'm trying my best here. So don't worry, I'm gonna ask a professional or somebody or just figure it out sooner or later. Anywho, but yeah, the only thing I hate is that you give us new characters after you've actually made updates and changes to these type of body modes. So why not, when you give us new characters, give us the new articulations and updates that come with it? So yeah. Toe articulations should be there. Butterfly joints should be here, so you can, because they can't cross their arms or nothing. Neither the little guy or the big guy. StarFox or champion, I should say. Anywho, but that's technically it. I mean, when it comes to, he has boot swivel. It looked like they both do, but we'll get into all that later. But you know what? Let's start with the big guy first, champion first. All right, so put StarFox to the side. Big fella here, because one, he looks like he's going to be a lot easier to, explain and talk about. A little easier, a little quicker to explain and talk about. That hard, long hair, I wish they would make hair more rubbery. Like I said, no butterfly joints or nothing like that, so can't cross his arms or nothing. Although I wasn't really gonna switch out the hands because he just has two fists, but just to show that these little bracelets like this come off. Of course the belt doesn't come off unless you break it or something. Or maybe if you took off the legs and heat it up, and you can, yeah. I'm pretty sure you could definitely do that. If you took off the legs and heat it up, or maybe if you didn't, you can just easily pull it down if it was a softer plastic. But since I got the hand off, give him a fist. Okay? And, whoo, big fella. What kind of big fella pose should we put you in, man? All right, so let's think of a cold pose that is, and I really shouldn't do this, but remember, guys, heat up your action figures before you pose them. All right, so you won't risk the chances of them breaking. Okay, so yeah, let's put them in a cold pose and put them on a rotating rotator to see more about who this guy really is. Did he have a yes, he did have a boot swivel. Okay, and like I say, this is nothing really new about this guy. But anywho, ooh, oh, that's the clicking. That scared me. All right, let's put him on a rotate and talk about him. All right, so, well, I kind of figured his pose wasn't going to be the most dynamic because he's a big fella. All right, and normally big fellas don't do dynamic, flexible poses. But yeah, and also once again, this whole color situation with the camera is still a battle for me. But enough about that. Who is this guy on the rotating rotator? Well, created by Ron Wilson and Tom DeFlacco, and first appearing in issue 7 of Marvel Comics Group Marvel 2-in-1 Annual, starring the Thing, of course. Trichoslatyrus, and you guys know how I am with pronouncing names, but well, very little is known about the man called Trichoslatyrus. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna stop that soon, but because they don't even give I haven't seen a real 100% description of why he calls himself, or when did he get the name, the champion of the galaxy, of the universe. But anywho, yes, the thing is, the problem is with him is that, or well, it's not a problem, but anyway, the problem is that he doesn't really have a known origin because he was part of a group of beings called the Elders of the Universe. And just like all the other elders of the universe, they are the last living beings of their specific race of people. So, and this happened during the Big Bang of the universe, and somehow, some way, they were the survivors of their race. Each one was the survivor of their race, and yeah, they are that old. And I think the champion, or Tigers, or whatever I want to call him, is considered the youngest out of all of them. But either way it go, he's extremely old, just like all of them. And now, technically immortal, but we'll get into that part later. But yeah, they're technically one of these group of people are the elders of the universe, are technically some of the oldest living beings of the universe, and the only living beings of their species, each species, of themselves. But anywho, that's technically pretty much the long and short of it, of old Trico here. But yeah, because there's not much history known about him, or the other elders. That's pretty much it. However, this whole champion of the universe thing is that his stitch is that he would ride around the entire galaxy challenging people to a battle or a fight or whatever. To be honest, no. I mean, there's really no given reason for this that I could find the reason why he would do this. It's not like he's trying to be the strongest in the world, like Goku from Dragon Ball Z or anything like that, or stuff like that. I think he just liked to challenge people. But the funny thing is that here's the stitch. He calls himself champion of the universe. However, although he's a good guy, he's have helped, you know, other superheroes in battles and stuff like that. But this whole champion things, when he started challenging people around the universe, some of the known people that he's fought are Dr. Walter Lankowski, and if you don't know, he's Sasquatch. And he did defeat Sasquatch. And also, he defeated the X-Man known as Colossus. But after that, this is when it started getting tricky, because he technically started winning matches off technicalities, because when he was supposed to challenge Thor, Thor got disqualified because Thor was using Mjolnir when he threw it, which was a weapon, of course. However, he couldn't fight him. And this is the time when Thor, if he lost his, didn't hold his hammer for long enough, he turned back human. So this was back in those days. All right. So he couldn't technically fight Thor. So Thor got disqualified. Then along came Bruce Banner, who you guys know, if you don't know, is the Incredible Hulk. But the Incredible Hulk got disqualified because Trico here felt that it was, I guess, beneath him to fight a mindless creature that the Hulk was at the time. So the Hulk got disqualified. So he technically won a match against the Hulk. Then he was supposed to fight Simon Wilson, aka Wonder Man. And I don't know if we haven't really talked. I don't know how much you guys know about Wonder Man, but don't worry about if that new TV show that's going on. That's some bull crap. But Wonder Man is a powerhouse. All right. He's technically as strong as Thor and the Hulk and anything. But it doesn't matter, because Wonder Man got disqualified because in his first round, he destroyed the fighting ring. So yeah, so he couldn't fight Wonder Man. So he technically beat Wonder Man off of disqualification. Then that was Prince Namor, who was in the battle, but got disqualified because Prince Namor refused to train. So I guess during some process they were supposed to train and all that, and Namor thought it was pretty much beneath him to do some silly training ritual. So technically that the win goes to the champion because Namor couldn't compete. Then there's Doc Samson, who's basically a Hulk, but I mean he's his body got infused with gamma radiation from the Hulk, something like that, to give him super strength and all that. So he's technically just super strong. All right, but he got disqualified because he wasn't technically skilled enough as a fighter to compete. So even though he was as just as strong as a Hulk or a She-Hulk or anything like that, they still didn't think his fighting skills were good enough to be in the competition with everybody else. So another victory for Trico. And then there was Ben Grimm, aka the Thing from the Fantastic Four, of course, who is extremely strong. But although he did fight the champion, I think that, if I'm not mistaken, the Thing lost in that battle. If I'm not, yes, the Thing lost in that, but so he ended up leaving the match. So yeah, basically, but here's the thing, didn't mean to say it like that, but I really hated that the Thing's battles that he's lost get more of his losses get covered than more of his wins, because the Thing is really strong. All right, but anywho, that's technically it about Trico Slaughterous here, aka the champion of the universe. And as you know, just as I said before, he's one of the elders of the universe. I was about to say Eternals, but elders of the universe. And yes, he is super everything with fighting, durability, strength, and although it, I don't know how you want to read that or not, but he is extremely fast, but not like Quicksilver Flash, fast, but faster than your highly peaked I guess superhuman or Olympic athlete or something like that. So that's that. And on top of that, he's immortal. All right. So he can't die from any conventional means, especially from Earth, like a disease or illness or anything like that. And although he can get hurt or damaged, significant injuries or something like that, he heals from them pretty fast, but he doesn't really die from them. Anything, things like that. So yeah. How do you defeat the guy or something like that? I guess I don't know. I mean, but who knows? But from my understanding, he was at one point in time powered by the power gem, one of the Infinity Stones, the Power Stone, but it got taken away from him by a guy by the name of Thanos. And to be honest, actually more about him later on in this video. Anywho, that's pretty much it when it comes to Trico, champion of the universe. Oh yeah, he actually has a motorcycle, a rocket cycle, or whatever you want to call it, that he travels around the galaxy, I guess, challenging people to fights and stuff like that. So that would have been a really cool, well, at this point, there are 2 packs now, but yeah, it would have been really cool to see, get a champion's rocket cycle. But, one can dream. Anywho, Thanos had a son by the name of Thane. And Thane recruited Trico, the champion of the universe, here to go kill his father. And he wanted him to recruit other people to do so. So the I guess the champion went and recruited. Well, the champion went and recruited Thane's uncle and also Thanos' little brother. Oh, is he? Yes, it's his little brother. Anywho, And who would this person would be? Well, created in 1972 by Jim Starlin and first appearing in issue number 55 of the Invincible Iron Man. The man known as Iran, who legally changed his name to Eros, but I guess changed it again because there was another person that was going by the name of Eros, and that person was Cupid. Yes, that Cupid, the goddess of love. By the way, happy Valentine's Day, or belated happy Valentine's Day. Anyway, whatever the reason of the name changes, we finally are stuck with being called StarFox for reasons. And this is why. Eros, just like his brother Thanos, lived and was raised on Titan, one of Saturn's moons. And unlike his sadistic older brother Thanos, Eros is an Eternal. And Eternals are basically a group of people that was gifted powers to look after the human race. All right. That's them in a nutshell. Now, unlike his brother Thanos, Eros enjoyed life and, living and loving it. And he pretty much took up a hobby to travel around the, galaxy and go enjoy life and party on different planets. So to the degree that he changed his name of Eros to StarFox. All right. So now, although he's an Eternal, and just like all the rest of the Eternals, he has superpowers like strength, speed, durability. He can teleport. He can fly. All those things that come with the faction. But his main thing is StarFox has the ability to, I want to call it charisma or charm someone. He can physically stimulate and manipulate people's pleasure senses and stimulate their brains and stuff like that. So in other words, he can charm. He can charm people. As a matter of fact, when he joined the Avengers one time, they kicked him out of the Avengers after he helped them defeat a lot of people, including Thanos, his brother. But they kicked him out of the Avengers because they thought that he was using his powers and abilities for unmoral and unethical reasons. As a matter of fact, She-Hulk kicked him in the groin one time because she found out that he used his abilities on her to seduce her. But I think that was allegedly, but it probably happened. Who knows? Now, although he rarely ever uses his abilities to their fullest potential or anything like that, so he always constantly holds back. But apparently the bracelets that he wear, which can be removed from the action figure, by the way, do give him the ability to fully unlock his all his powers, mainly his I'm gonna call it his charming powers. But yeah, so that's it. That's StarFox, aka Eros, in a nutshell. Whoop. So it's time to size these guys up. All right. So representing the 136 scale action figure size, we have Herbie from the Toy Biz multi-pack Fantastic Four multi-pack. All right. From the early 2000s Marvel Legends series. Anywho, I always screw that up. But anyway, representing the 1/18th scale action figure size, we have the Xenostrike 3-minute project, who I like to call Waist High Ninja Guy, Gary for short. And Gary standing in a whopping 3 3/4, the average 1/18th scale action figure size, which is 4 inches. So representing the 1/12th scale action figure size, we have Stan the Man, my main man, Stan, the Marvel Legends Stan Lee action figure, which stands at about 6 inches tall, the average 1/12th scale action figure size. All right. So representing the 1/10th action figure scale size, we have the NECA homebody action figure that I call Buck, the bigger figure. Oh yeah. And Buck stands at about 7 inches tall, the average 1/10th scale action figure size. So that means when we bring in the ruler, Trico, the champion of the universe, stands at approximately right at his hairline. I'm going to say 8 inches, but I think it's slightly a notch under 8 inches tall. So like, and I guess at the top of his hair, all that fluffy stuff, all that fluffy red stuff, he is actually, I want to say 8.5, but I can't get it back because his hair too big to stick out. So I'm gonna say 8.5. All right. So, which he is actually under comic book accurate size because he's supposed to be 9 feet tall in the comics. But Arrow's hair stands at approximately, by the hairline, I did it backwards. He still was fine. By the hairline, 6 1/4. Okay, so I think he was comic book accurate to his size. Well, for the most part. So yeah, just about. So yeah, so that's that. All right. Whoop, whoop. And that's how we'll end the video here, kiddos. So thanks for stopping by, fellas. E-Rose, my man. Stay classy, guy. And Trico, big fella. Good luck on your next match. Okay, see you guys around. Whoop. And that goes for you too, kiddos. So until I see you in the next video, here's some advice I would give you that my mother would give to me when I had nothing else to do. Go somewhere and play. Okay, ta-ta for now, guys.